Welcome to Book Club. We have four incredible people here today to hopefully attempt to finish off Thus Spoke Zarathustra. We
Spin the
have
wheel.
we have read the final part because it took us a little bit to get here, so we had some extra time, and so we're gonna try to finish it off and spin the wheel, get a new book.
Please.
Yeah,
So
I
excited
need
for a
that.
new book.
I need
Please.
that new book.
We have to finish.
So long.
3-hour podcast.
Fuck
Hopefully,
it.
we'll get through it fast. I
3-hour
mean, it's a
podcast.
little bit of like, we get to this part. Okay, now we get this part. Now we get this part, and it's not. There's like him spouting wisdom in every two sentences.
Yeah.
Now,
No
You
more
were, okay,
wisdom.
this one really was more of a story. Finally.
I was telling
Finally,
you.
what Howie promised me
telling-
from the beginning of the book.
Part one was literally just him talking about something. Is Marcus really style? After part one, it was a little bit lighter. Now we have our story. I stand by it. But we gotta move along. David, what you got?
Work.
All right, Connor, what
That's
you
an
got?
update.
Come on, David. That's not it.
Okay. No, yeah, work. Had a 2-year anniversary with my girlfriend last Tuesday. We went to Spa World. That was really cool. I don't know if y'all ever heard of that.
Went to what?
Spa World.
Spa World.
It's
Interesting.
literally just a place that has maybe, I don't know, 7, 8, 10 different saunas. 10 different type of sauna rooms, and it's just all literally a spa. It's just a spa. The entire building is a spa, and they got food there. They got theater room. They have these cool clay beads that you can get under, and then other just regular sauna rooms. And there was one really hot sauna room that I felt really good. It was about 160 degrees in there.
Whoa.
It was
Dang.
hot. I could feel the hot air going through my nostrils, but it felt really good in the most uncomfortable way.
I mean, it sounds kind of relaxing.
It was yeah. That was the one room that said, "Don't take your phone; it can explode in here."
No.
I mean that.
way.
I mean, 160 degrees.
It was hot, dude. The floor was burning my ass. I had to put a towel down so I could sit and actually withstand it. Alexa didn't want to sit in there with me. She said, "I'm gonna go wait in another like little dome area," and I said, "All right, that's cool. I'm gonna be here."
He's waiting in
Sitting
the
there for, like,
dome area.
and it was really cool. There was also an Arctic area. There was even they give you like spa clothes themselves that way you don't use your own clothes. You have no shoes, pure socks or no socks. Really cool place. Really cool place. Very
That sounds
relaxing. I
really
came
cool.
out super refreshed.
They had the food sauna, the Arctic sauna, the dome sauna, the hot sauna,
Clay bead sauna.
the movie theater sauna.
The movie theater was just outside.
I didn't
There was
realize
not
Connor
a
was
sauna.
third wheeling with you guys.
Yeah, I thought this was just the anniversary gift. I
Yeah.
didn't realize Con Man was.
Well,
He was
I
on
kind
the
of
AC.
the whole thing up.
Is that the food
Oh.
sauna? I was like, I don't think they talked about the food sauna.
No,
Yeah,
there
that
was
was
just
a new
food
one.
there, but there wasn't no food sauna. And then the little theater, they were playing the one of the World Cup games, so a lot of people were just watching that. And there was like a
Oh,
little
that's
chorus
cool.
room. It was just the place to do a whole bunch of spa things. And when I walked in the men's locker room, I saw a whole great ass.
Oh, you cut out.
That was one of the parts that resonated with you. That was
Yeah,
one of the
that's
parts
when
that
it stuck in his
your
head.
mind.
Yep.
Sorry, I saw old ass cheeks, bro. So that's like how that's stuck in my
Were they
mind.
like two?
I feel like
hold on.
that's
pressed
almost
against each
guaranteed in a
other?
men's locker room.
I mean, it
So-
is because you had to be naked to go into the men's bathing area. It was very Asian culture centered.
Okay, so what's this place called?
I was like, oh, I'm about to go tomorrow.
You had me at
Spa
all that.
World, dude. Spa World out by Katy. Quick 30, 20-minute drive.
Oh, is it in that cool part of
Dirty.
Katy?
Huh?
Is it in the cool part of Katy?
The little Asian area, Katy? No, it's a little further down, but still pretty close. Yeah,
2
that's
years
what I
though.
did.
2 years though, huh? I'm not
2
gonna
years
say it,
went
but
by.
I know someone's thinking it.
Dude, went by so damn fast.
I'm
That's a
just gonna
good thing
say it.
because that just means
When's the ring, man? When's the question?
When he can forge it with his own bare
When the
hands.
fortune is done.
you know, I can
I'm
forge his
not
own
even
bare
joking.
hands. No, he's not. That's genuinely when the ring is going to be ready.
You
So
And
better
I
be
can
that's
personally
when
grinding.
you're
make it.
doing it.
That's
You better
So
be grinding.
Yeah.
uh, I've definitely slowed down, but
He doesn't care about that much.
yeah, the ring can wait.
I've no,
Once you
I've
get that
definitely
ring,
slowed
you're gonna make a
down.
lot of us look bad. That's all I'm saying.
Just you wait, man. I do have to build good skills for it, and I don't know if you don't know, but the price of silver and the price of metal and precious metals is disgustingly high right now.
I
You
know
think it's gonna go
silvers
down?
especially.
Do I think it's going to go down? Maybe in a year or two.
I
It's
usually,
got. I mean,
But
it's got to go down at some point, right?
yeah,
Does it
eventually.
though?
dude, I used to be able to buy like 15% silver solder for like $120, retailing for like 210 right now.
Holy schmoke.
It's damn, dude. It literally almost doubled, and it's fucking bad. So, yeah.
Sounds rough.
Well,
Anywho, that's what I've been up to. Nothing too crazy. So I'll pass it off to Connor.
A little old me?
oh man, little old you.
Well, I had some pretty big stuff happen last week. On Thursday, my niece was born. So
Whoa.
Congrats.
I know. I'm an uncle. I really
Absolutely
wanted to
unk
go.
status now, dude.
That's awesome.
Dude, I feel like I've been at unk
Verified
status
unk.
for a while.
Yeah.
I don't feel all that much different.
Just gotta get the house
Um,
next, and then you'll be there.
then I'll be there. I'll officially be there. But no, I don't. It was crazy, like holding her. It was just a really weird feeling. Like whenever I first like walked into the room and I just saw her, like I started to tear up. I'm not gonna lie. It was a weird feeling. Like
Was she
I'm
all
just.
pink?
She actually had really good complexion by the time I saw her, because like I had to come off of work, so it was like 8 o'clock whenever I met her. But she was she's like genuinely like just a pretty baby. Like like a lot of people will say like, oh wow, you have such a pretty baby, like she's beautiful, and like all this other stuff, and then they look like an alien from fucking the movie The Alien, you know? And then it's like that's not that baby's sick, you know? But like she's actually a beautiful baby.
Yay.
That's awesome.
But
That everything went well.
yeah,
Me too.
I really wanted to go by Unkner.
Oh.
I don't
But
think
my
that's the.
sister,
I don't know if that rolls off the tongue too well, dude.
Yeah,
well,
Why
it's
don't
like
you go by Conkle?
I
I think
thought about
that's
Oh
might
my
be
Uncle.
god, me
See,
worse.
too.
I think that
I
might be
was
worse.
like, that was my thing. I was like, it's either Unkner or Conkle, and then they're like,
Conkle, dude. I like Conkle. I'll
Dude,
stand by
Just
your
Uncle
side for
Con
just say
Conkle.
Uncle C,
or
bro.
Uncon. Yeah, Uncon or Uncle C.
no, Unkner, because it's like the first part of Uncle, last part of Connor.
I
No,
get how you built it. That doesn't
it's
make
okay.
it
Yeah,
like
I think I
good.
got that from the beginning, Connor.
It rolls off the tongue. What do you mean it doesn't make it good?
Well,
You know what that reminds me of? Encore, actually, the electricity
yeah.
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Concurve just made me think of Kegels.
I'm gonna insist that any nieces or nephews call me Goon Man. Like I'm just gonna
Why?
when their parents are away, I'm gonna be like, I'm
Dude,
Goon Man. Call
Why do
me
you want to
Goon
be
Man.
dude,
called that?
My
go
name's
on a
Goon
case. That's
Man.
what you want, bro.
Seth has never seen any of my kids ever.
No.
Oh man.
But
Uncle Goon Man.
more importantly, I got a Employee of the Month last week too. So
Whoa.
Yay! Isn't that
Yeah.
like the have you done that more than once?
I got Employee of the Week once before we
Oh,
started doing
okay. This is a
Employee.
big honor.
Yeah, this is but that was
Whole
before
month.
we started doing Employee of the Month. And Employee of the
Mm.
Month is like a vote, like a company-wide vote between everybody
Whoa.
in the company.
Wow.
whoever has the most votes gets
Oh,
it.
so you won the popular vote?
Do
I
you?
won the
Wow.
popular vote.
They
That's
call him Big
Is
Honor
there any
Connor.
privileges that come with this, or just recognition?
Yeah. No, I get a $500 bonus.
Oh, wow, a
Nice.
monetary. That's awesome.
Nice.
Little straight $500 in
Dude.
my bank account.
Now you just gotta aim for employee of the year.
Yeah. And, you
No,
get and then you get a paddle.
did I get a paddle?
Yeah, I'm not gonna elaborate. That's just employee of the year gets a paddle.
Okay. I mean, I like the
paddle,
sound of it.
I was like, I know how to use that.
I get you. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Seth.
All right, Unkner.
No, but
Going off the rails here.
yeah, it was nice. But that's basically it. Just been working. Yesterday had the hottest day this year, and it sucked.
It
It was
was
120 degrees on the roof.
You're basically the sun every day, dude.
70% humidity.
You're literally being like steamed
sounds
a lot.
just awful.
That's what I said. I said I was being preheated all day. I was in a preheating oven the entire day.
That's messed up.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Got
Play
the
the
job
month
done.
though.
Yeah,
True.
$500. Worth it. Anyway, I'll pass it off to Southward.
That's me. I thought you were gonna say I had something exciting happen Thursday. Seth asked me for advice on power tool.
was that Thursday?
I don't
Oh,
know.
I guess it was. You just looked at the date.
Yeah. Was it?
Did you end up
Thursday?
getting that power drill?
Yeah, I bought it. I have it now. I haven't used it yet for what I want to use it for, but I went with that one. I also bought screwdrivers, Milwaukee screwdrivers.
Oh yeah.
It was Tuesday, unfortunately. Joke doesn't quite line, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. Asking Connor for tips
every day.
Yeah. Been mostly work. Helping Anna get moved in as well. She was here all week last week for like orientation for job. And so we got her key. We moved her furniture from my parents' house. So we got her bed in there, table, all that fun stuff. And yeah, that was really fun. I miss her already so much, but luckily she's already driving to Nashville this very moment. She's en route. Got a
Dude, that's
long way to
awesome.
go.
Nice.
You
Yeah,
finally
we've
closed a
almost
long distance, bro.
we've
I
I'm so
almost
know.
happy
done
for
it.
you.
It's crazy. I honestly thought, like before I started this relationship, that that's impossible. I genuinely believed that it just never happens and it's all made up fairy tales. So it's cool, and I'm very excited.
I'm so happy for you,
I bet
man.
that it just feels amazing, huh?
Well, honestly, the peak of the feeling was when we both got our jobs in Nashville. That was like the most like, oh my God, we actually did it. Leading up to it, it's been a lot, to be honest, it's been a lot more of a slow burn. Been a very like satisfying feeling, but it's not been like, oh, you know what I mean? Maybe that'll change once she's actually here. But I think the process of it has been it's been long. So I think that the celebration, it's not like we found out and then like a month later we're here. I mean, we've known that we're going to be here for like 3 months now. So it's had its time to kind of sit, be. Um but that doesn't mean I'm not incredibly excited.
Mhm.
So
Awesome.
super amped about it. Yeah. That's kind of I guess the biggest thing that's been happening. Everything else has been training, running, a lot of running for the half marathon, and then work. Like it seems like a silly update, but I'm actually just so happy for like a period of wake up, go to work, go
Stability.
run. Yeah. I
You
don't
guys
know if I've really had that for a while now. So pretty excited.
That's good. It's good for you.
I'm loving Nashville too. So
Good.
that's been
Woo.
good. I
Yeah.
was gonna, there's always an inkling in you when you move to someplace. You're like, what if I just hate it? What if everybody here sucks? But has it been like that at all? No.
That's awesome.
Good.
where you live and enjoying where you live is important.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so depressed all the time.
I do miss a lot of my friends though. So we'll have to rectify that.
That's okay,
Yeah,
man.
you
You're gonna
probably
have
got
your
a call or
girl with
something.
you, dude.
Yeah, it's true. The most important person. But
Yeah.
you know.
Seems to still
Anyways.
not mean anything.
Yeah. I bet you don't ignore her messages or calls.
Yep. I bet. I guarantee he does not.
You
I
text her
know.
whenever you don't want to know opinions on power tools too.
Oh man.
That's
Well,
Paul really
anyways, that's all with me. I guess we'll pass it off to our good old Mr. Howard.
I'm Mr. Howard.
That's you.
So,
Funkner and Howard.
The
yep,
haircut, Howard.
Favorite law
I
firm.
did get a haircut. Thank you.
That's
Thank
good,
you.
man. That's good.
I appreciate it. It's honestly been long overdue.
Mhm.
I had my hair before. I'm sure. No, so I don't even want to look at the last episode because I'm sure it was just a mess. But yeah, so that's all I have been with me. I just got a haircut. No, I'm fine. Let's see. So since last episode, Nicole and I went to her grandpa's house. Went and visited him and a couple of her aunts. It was nice. Got dinner. I mean, we didn't stay too long. It was just for a weekend, and it's like a 8-hour drive, so it was not like too much. But it was nice. It was a good time. Um, what else? And then my dad came. My dad came in town. We actually got food with him yesterday. We were originally going to go to Korean barbecue. I hadn't eaten all day, and lo and behold, our AC
1 hour
isn't
wait.
working.
Oh.
So we had to put in an emergency maintenance request, and then we had to basically we ended up getting food near here. There's a river walk right next to us, like a 2-minute drive. So we went there, got some food there, so that way we could be ready to go back once the maintenance people arrived, and we could let them in and all that jazz. So we weren't able to get Korean barbecue, unfortunately, but the place we went to had
You
some good food.
prepped too after you emptied yourself to be ready for
I know
the Korean barbecue feast.
I was ready to eat so much
All
food.
you can eat.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude.
I know it was pretty rough. But we still had a good time. My dad came and saw the apartment for the first time since I moved in, so it's changed so much. So it was nice showing him around. Um, yeah, so that was all good. And then I have my anniversary coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Woo!
1 year, 1 year, one whole year.
Yeah.
1 year with the
And
old ball and team. Just kidding.
I wouldn't say
I'm
that,
just messing.
David. I know some people might feel that way, like you, but I wouldn't say
Hey,
that.
I am very happy in my relationship. I like being in 120 degrees. Unlike some people.
Well, apparently not enough to make that ring, am I right?
Whoa!
Dang.
Ding, ding,
Whoa!
ding.
Shots are getting
Guys,
fired.
he ulted on me.
But but yeah, so the day of our anniversary is Sunday, so it's nice. It's on the weekend. We're going to Brazilian Steakhouse for dinner. It's a place called 12 Cuts, so we're going to go there for dinner. It'll be a great time. Don't have too much. Yeah, you don't have too much planned for the day. We might go to Six Flags. Not entirely sure yet, but don't have too much planned. The um the real cost of the anniversary went to some items. I can't say
Yeah.
just yet because the anniversary isn't here yet, and that would be ruining surprise. But yeah, so not much. I mean, we got Brisbane Steakhouse Sunday.
Yeah.
And then so
That's
it'll
all.
be great. It'll be great.
Nothing else.
No, there's nothing
Nothing
else.
else.
No. Why would there be?
Imagine forcing Howie to edit this portion, but just saying it out loud. Just the whole
Now that you
entire
said that,
thing.
it's really kind of making me want to do it. Just for
Well, this
fucking
won't
game.
come. Well, actually, it would.
Oh,
Oh,
it would.
Hey man,
I could just ruin his day. I could just,
don't worry about it, Seth. I would hate for you to lose your placement standing. Like I
yeah,
said, the most
last.
dangerous man is the one who has nothing to lose.
You should just sneak it in like 3 times throughout the entire episode. So you
That
have to
would be
find it and edit
diabolical.
it
Just say the sentence he sent to us backwards.
out. Oh shit!
That'd be diabolical because I'd be cut on the keyframes. So there's like a certain amount of time which just would get lost. But other than that, I'm a little bit after. Well, we're gonna see Odyssey tomorrow. I just feel like I had to say that because I'm super pumped for the movie. Um,
Oh,
Are
but
you
dude,
watching
I'm
it
seeing it on
IMAX?
Monday.
yeah, we're gonna watch it in IMAX.
I wanted to see it tomorrow, but my girlfriend isn't. So I'm gonna wait till she goes to Mexico and I'm gonna go watch it by myself.
Dude, what?
Really?
My girlfriend wants to see it.
Missed it. What
My
movie?
wife wants to see it. The
Odyssey.
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 Oh, the Odyssey.
Yeah, it's like the big Christopher Nolan movie.
I'm gonna go see it with David.
Yeah, go see it with
Oh
David.
wait, yeah,
Connor.
wait, dude, you want?
Crazy for him to not even think about that.
No wonder Connor didn't know because David didn't invite him.
Hey, God, I'll text you later.
Yeah, I'll see if I respond.
Let me give you a call then. I
I
know
might be a
you
little
can actually
busy.
hold the call.
But yeah, but like soon after, Nicole is going to be going to her parents' place for a week. She's going to help be with her little sister because her family's going out. They're going to Dominica, so she's going to be there to help with that. So I'll have a week of, I guess, doing my own things. Probably reading for the most part. Maybe doing some coding side projects. I'm
Legends.
not sure. I might actually. Um, oh shoot, that's such a good idea. I didn't even think about it, but I mean, now you brought it up.
I would have crossed your mind eventually. I
It
know it
probably
would
would have.
have.
It probably would have. So yeah, there's quite a bit going on before and after right now. So exciting things to come and nice things that have happened. Just like how we're about to have an exciting adventure through part 4 of Thus Spoke Zarathustra.
So many
Yeah,
people to
super amped.
meet. So many people to see
So many
again.
new people. In fact, he starts baiting them in with some honey and the honey sacrifice.
The honey
Sacrifice.
sacrifice.
So we start off with his animals going up to him because he talks to his animals quite a bit. And so he's just gazing out off to whatever. And they're like, it's the perfect time to climb a mountain. So he starts climbing the mountain and they give him honey. And he says, be away, animals. This is my moment. And so now he starts this honey sacrifice to try to bring great men to him because he spent his entire life, going out there trying to find the great man on his own. He's like, I'm getting
Iron
old.
Man.
Yeah, so I'm getting old. I want these higher men to come to me now. So let me lay out this honey sacrifice. So he goes after the honey. He is sitting on a stone in front of his cave on the next day, and while he sat there, the soothsayer comes up to him. You guys remember the soothsayer? The one
I
who
semi
made him go in
remember
pure
him.
depression. He got into like super depression, uh, and I think like slept for 7 days or something like that. I can't remember if that was the soothsayer did, but I remember like the soothsayer said something to him, and he was like, his followers were like, Zarathustra, please come back to us. Get out of a state of depression. So now he comes back, the soothsayer. Okay, so the soothsayer says to him, but whoever thou art or wouldst be, O Zarathustra, thou hast been here aloft the longest time. In a little while thy bark shall no longer rest on dry land. Do I then rest on dry land? Asked Zarathustra, laughing. The waves around thy mountain, answered the soothsayer, rise and rise. The waves of great distress and affliction, they will soon raise thy bark also and carry thee away. Thereupon was Zarathustra silent and wondered. Dost thou still hear nothing? Continued the soothsayer. Doth it not rush and roar out of the depth? Zarathustra was silent once more and listened. Then he heard a long, long cry, which the abysses threw to one another and passed on, for none of them wished to retain it. So evil did it sound. Thou little announcer, said Zarathustra at last, that is a cry of distress and the cry of a man. It may come perhaps out of a black sea. But what doth human distress matter to me? My last sin, which hath been reserved for me. Knowest thou what it is called? Pity, answered the soothsayer from an overflowing heart. O Zarathustra, I have come that I may seduce thee to thy last sin. And then Zarathustra goes on to say, well, who is this laying out this cry of distress? And the soothsayer says, well, it's the higher man. And for some reason, this was interesting to me, but like Zarathustra got like really scared. He was like getting horror stricken. But the main part here, I think, is something interesting. The part where pity is his last sin. And how the soothsayer is saying that pity from human pain and distress will carry him away, like the bark being taken away by the rising waves. And so, pity, right? I think it's like hinted a little bit about pity before and how much it's like a negative thing. And now
Yeah.
I think a lot of towards this end of this chapter is about the negativity of pity. So I kind of wanted to bring that to y'all now. Is like, I mean, yeah, it comes to questions. Is pity, do you guys think, really a purely negative thing? Like, is it just something that like you should never try to feel or avoid? And we can talk, I guess, a little bit about why we think it's negative if we do, or positive, we do.
I want to start from a more foundational question to help answer the question. But to be honest, what is pity? Like, genuinely, I feel like it's one of those things that I like understand inherently, but I couldn't like explain it to you without using itself in the definition.
I think,
Right? So like what does pity look like when you have that, when you're making that sin? What is that?
I would like to say that in order to have pity, you inherently sort of have to view yourself higher than what you are giving pity to.
Okay.
That doesn't really answer your question. I just wanted to make that statement very
He's not
clear.
looking down on somebody. That's a different thing.
Yeah, but you inherently do need to see yourself as more than what you're giving pity to, is what I
almost
think. Because
condescending.
if you
Yeah.
if you
Mhm.
didn't see yourself higher, then instead of pity, I think you could say it's empathy.
Okay.
Because empathy is where you're on the same level.
Okay.
Pity is that you view yourself higher than what you're looking at.
So is it understanding the pain that somebody's going through, but thinking yourself above that pain?
I think it's just
I think it's a little
not
bit of that.
above the pain.
I think it's a
That's what
little,
you.
I think it's a little bit of
I
that.
was gonna
Not all of it, but maybe a little bit.
I was gonna say I think it's more of a not. I don't think it's inherently understanding. I think it's just feeling bad. I think empathy is where you actually put yourself in that shoe, in that situation to try to understand it, while pity is less of you putting yourself in that situation to try to understand it, and
You
more
just
of
know
a
it sucks.
it's like that sucks. I feel bad for you because no, that sucks.
Yeah, I almost view pity consistently as like a negative connotation in my brain.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think pity is kind of, I think the way that that this conversation that like in the book is going on pity is, I think it's kind of something that you feel bad for someone, and so you go out of your way to try to help them, make them feel better, do things for them, help them out. And I think that's what Zarathustra's trying to go against, is like the last sin, because in a sense, you know, if you do something out of pity, someone could take offense to that as well. Like, oh, you just like kind of like what David was saying about like, you might view yourself higher than whatever you're pitying. And like, people wouldn't like that. People wouldn't want to feel that way. But also, I mean, Zarathustra was kind of big on like, loving yourself over thy neighbor. In a sense, like focus, like making sure you are rock steady and healthy before you like try to just give to everyone else. And I think that kind of goes along with the ideas of pity, where it's like, oh, I pity you, so I'm just gonna help you out a lot because I think I can, and um, I'm gonna go out of my
Because I'm
way. I
in
might even harm myself, but yeah.
because I'm in a better spot than you. I can no, maybe not so much that.
Because I was going to say, what if that's what pitying is? Then what's the framework for a healthy or positive um, giving and helping to others?
I think it has
I'm
to
gonna
be
go
Or
back
a
to what I said earlier.
is all assistance grounded in this condescension?
I
Well,
was gonna go
that's
back to
why
saying the whole empathy and pity thing is that fine distinction of not feeling.
well, empathy almost
Oh,
requires you to understand what they're going through. So that would have to suggest that you have been through what they're going through.
partially. I mean, you could. I don't know.
Oh, that's
I
a
think
deeper
empathy is the
question.
act of trying to understand, or is it absolutely understanding?
I think with pity, it's almost like you're helping them selfishly because you believe yourself you're as higher than them.
yeah.
Where if you're helping someone else, you should be doing it selflessly, in my opinion. You know what I mean?
I think part of it too is like pity is like you only help them because you see that they're like struggling or suffering,
Mhm.
You,
and
if they were fine, you wouldn't help whatsoever.
yeah, exactly. And so just like, I mean, sure, if someone I guess is struggling, there's not a reason to help them, but or there's not a reason to not help them to a certain extent. To a certain extent, But like only helping them because they are suffering is condescending in a sense, and it is like a spit on that person's face in a sense because it's like saying, "Oh, you can't do this by yourself, or you
You're
need
so
help."
helpless. You're a
Yeah,
wounded animal.
Okay, well then, where does like donating to charity or like working at your local soup kitchen work into that framework? Like you're not showing up to the soup kitchen because those people are chilling. Like you're there because you know they're struggling and you're trying to help. Is that pity? Or is it one of those things where it's like a heart thing where you can be there out of pity, but you could also be there out of kindness?
I
that's a
almost want
good
to walk
question.
back my statements now because I don't even know anymore. Like I want
Um,
to walk back everything.
well,
That's I
what,
guess that's what I'm trying to get at is I want to understand the framework at which I can, in Zarathustra's eyes,
well, I
What
was
is
gonna
give
say,
his
a
idea of
neighbor.
pity?
I think Zarathustra might say, "Don't go to the soup kitchens."
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of
So,
getting at. I feel like
I mean,
he'd say don't donate to charity.
we can have how we morally feel here, but Zarathustra is saying, "Out with the morals," and so he would say, "Don't go to the soup kitchens." Probably, like honestly.
Yeah,
I'll say this,
yeah.
okay? Because there's two types of people, or maybe three types of people that donate to charity or do things like go to the soup kitchen, help out. Right? There's the
Mhm.
people that want the tax write-off, so there's a monetary gain for
Okay.
them. There's the
Yep.
people that want to say that they go to the soup kitchen and that they donate to charity. And
There's
then
a
the third
social
type,
gain.
exactly. And then there's the third type that do it just because they want to do it.
Mhm.
They so I think the first two would be selfish in that respect, and then the third one would be selfless in that respect because they're willing to
Love of the
sacrifice their
game.
time for no gain, you know, and then the first the first two are gaining something through doing these services.
But is the third one pity?
I think the
The first
first
two aren't
two,
pity.
right?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
third one.
that's
I mean,
gain.
from our framework, the third one is pity. There's no so according to this framework, there's no good reason to go to the soup kitchen.
Fuck.
I mean, I think Zarathustra, I mean, he does say he doesn't like morals, or Nietzsche, I should say,
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
like morals,
Yeah,
and
no,
I
so
think you're
like,
spot on,
I
Howie.
I
mean,
feel like
we can
if
we can
anything, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
honestly, like we can say, I guess, what we think, but if we're putting it in the framework of Nietzsche and trying to go from this perspective, he's saying don't go to the soup kitchens. I,
No,
I, I
you see,
think
I'm
I think I think part of it is like help people who want to help themselves. I think he would say that, but just going to help for the sake of people suffering, just because they're suffering or whatever, I just going to the soup kitchen. I don't think he would agree with it.
you see, I
Mhm.
think he would say, hey, yeah, go to the soup kitchen, donate to charity for that tax write-off, so you can get
I
yourself
mean,
better.
maybe, probably,
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
yeah.
The means or the end justifies the
I
means.
don't think he would care for the one that's donating to charity or going to the soup kitchen so that they can say that they can. I feel like
Yeah, I
he'd still be
That's
agree.
like,
like
well,
he probably hates that the most.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
because they're
probably would hate that
fake,
the most.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
So he
they're
does the
moralists,
yeah.
but the
right?
tax write-off, he would be like, yeah, hey man, good shit.
Hey, get your bread.
Which, okay, now this brings us to the point though of like
Wait, okay.
it's
Did
like,
the answer? I don't feel like the question was ever answered. The original
It
question: What is
wasn't.
well,
pity?
no, and that's what I was about to
But
say.
do
I
you
mean,
think
we
we
just
can
say a
answer it
question of
now?
like, is that
What the?
is pity bad? Is there good circumstances? Are you pitying is good? Like, we just answer
I
the
think I don't
question.
view pity in a negative connotation anymore. Like, honestly, I'm like, hey, yeah, maybe you should pity people sometimes because some people need pity, you know?
I I think there's a way to do it that isn't disrespectful, and I can't tell you how right
There is
now,
a
but
way.
there's a way.
I
There's a way.
think
I've helped people and not thought that they were lesser than me. Like it's like kind of like when when I see a homeless person, my first thought is I'm like two bad decisions away from being that guy. I don't think I'm any better than them. I might have not made those two bad decisions, but it's like I don't feel like I'm that much different than them. I don't feel like I'm on an alien world, or at least that's the mindset I try to have, right? And maybe that's one of the important distinctions to save you from pity is to understand that people are not always a product of their decisions. Sometimes they are a product of their circumstances,
so. Do you give
right?
him money?
Oh,
Oh, okay. I was about to hit you with like
no,
a whole trail of
I actually
questions, but
never do.
okay.
I just, but I don't like look down on them. I'm not like, you know,
Well,
I'm
that's
not like,
fine.
oh, that poor guy. It's just
Yeah,
like, oh, he's just the homeless guy doing his homeless thing,
and that's good. You're not going out of your way to help him just because he's homeless.
I mean, if I'm at
Yeah.
like a red light and it's not changing over, he walks up to my window, I'm gonna give him a bottle of water. I'm like, dude, it's hot
Yeah,
out.
I
I
think
think,
that's really what it
yeah. I
is.
mean,
Is like
that's yeah.
I would rather help in a way that's gonna,
Actually help.
yeah, yeah. What I wish I could do is go there and like teach that guy how to code or something like that. Like I wish I could give them a skill that would like lift them out of poverty, but I just don't have the time currently.
So you would do that because they're homeless, though, right?
You'd be more inclined to do it because they're homeless, but
Yes.
even if they weren't, I think you would still be willing to help someone
In
who
my
has.
head, I'd be like, this person hasn't figured out a way to support themselves. I want to equip them with that ability.
Oh, so what, you think you're better than them?
No,
Yeah.
I'm
Why?
sharing.
Why are you just doing it for
You
them?
feel like you have better
Because
equipment than them or something?
yeah, like why are you just doing it for them,
See,
Seth?
this is what I don't, this is where I'm stuck. I don't understand. I don't know how to give to people and not pity them. I don't, like from the definition we
I
have here.
and in my
And maybe you
perspective,
can't.
I think there is a way to help, but it has to be secretive in a sense, where not secretive to where like you out of your way help them and just pretend like it's not you, or like that you do it secretly so no one sees you. But like secretive in the sense of like, well, one is some like if they ask you for help, I think that's perfectly fine to help them in that case.
Mm.
Two is giving them the opportunity to receive help, but not just obviously giving it to them, if that makes sense. I think that's a good way to do it. And
So like,
but the thing is though,
so
is like, what are you gonna say?
in this example, it would be like having a free course to teach somebody a skill. And if they show up, they show up.
Yeah,
If they don't, they don't.
something like
You
that.
know,
Because
it
you're
doesn't
not
matter who you
targeting them.
are.
Yeah, you're not targeting them.
Yeah. You're
You're
just
not doing it for a
helping.
specific reason. You just want to try
You're
to
helping
help
whoever wants
whoever
it.
wants to help themselves. Yeah.
Okay.
I was talking
So
about these different
pity's bad.
definitions, had me Google the actual definitions for pity, empathy, and sympathy.
Okay,
Okay.
what you got?
All right,
Uh,
Google man.
All right. Pity refers to a feeling of sympathetic sorrow or compassion evoked by the suffering, distress, or misfortune of others.
I don't like that it uses sympathy in the definition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sympathy is the feeling or expression of sincere concern, pity, or sorrow for someone experiencing a difficult situation.
Oh God.
Empathy is pity and
Empathy, the ability to recognize, understand, and share the emotions and perspective of another person. Unlike sympathy, which is feeling pity or sorrow for someone, or compassion, which adds a desire to help.
So
The word
empathy.
compassion for me kind of just threw a wrench into, or
Yeah,
not
because I
wrench, but
like
kind of just,
compassion.
yeah.
That sounds good. I eat that up.
It's
But now
words,
it's being
huh?
tied
It's
up
all
with
about
these
the
words I
words.
don't like.
Well, it said
I don't
unlike
like those
it
definitions.
separated sympathy and compassion. So sympathy and pity are its own thing. Compassion is its thing.
I don't like those definitions.
No, they're not good.
They're not
Nah,
good.
like
no.
because I almost can say like
Realizing how
again like
stupid
empathy
dictionaries are.
is something that requires a previous experience to empathize with
Yeah,
someone. You know,
Yes, you can
you were on the
understand
nose
their
with that.
feelings.
you can be sympathetic towards a person.
That's what I was thinking
Do
of. I
you
was switching empathy and sympathy.
Yeah,
so
because like
do you think you have to have lived someone's experience to understand how they feel?
well, it's almost like say like a friend of yours like um their grandparent passes away or something like that. It's like, oh, you know, I've been through this. I can empathize, man. That really sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. You know,
Mm.
um, but like if like your grandparents are still alive, you can say, man, I'm sorry, I can't empathize, but I can sympathize. You know, like I'm really sorry to hear that. You know.
Okay, so you do think an important component of empathy is that you will have to have been through at least an analogous experience.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Empathy is sympathy's big brother.
Because if someone's like, yeah, my grandparent just passed away, it's like, dude, when I was 6, my gerbil died, and that like I can empathize, dude. It's almost like a dude,
But
seriously.
I feel like
Play.
but I feel like it works in reverse because if you were like, yeah, I know how that feels. My mom died when I was young. It's like,
Yeah, that
okay,
at
that's
that
not
point,
exactly what I'm talking about, but you probably do.
well, hey, at that point,
Right?
it's like, hey, are you trying to one up me in my right now? Like, what are you doing here, man? Like, at that point, don't bring that up. You know,
So it has to be the same experience. Like if it's
it's
Nah.
lesser, you don't understand. If it's higher, what are you're
oh
one
my
upping
god,
me?
it's almost like this is like a social math equation almost. It's
Yeah.
like it has to be if it's like the same situation, it has to have happened like way in the past. It can't be like oh yeah, my grandparent actually just died an hour ago or like something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're like,
Both of
oh,
my
okay,
grandparents
cool.
actually passed.
Then both of you guys are like, oh, well shit, I'm sorry for your loss. Oh, I'm sorry for your
Yeah.
loss. You know?
Now here we are.
Now here we
Right.
are.
So
We're in
it's
the
like,
same
dude,
scenario. No one's
it's
helped anybody.
stupid. It's stupid. So
Yeah.
social like politeness is dumb, and I like to be polite. I try to be polite, but it's real when you start breaking it down, you realize the rules are very silly.
There's like unspoken rules, and
Yes.
like everybody knows them.
Nobody's ever told you. There's no like book where you could go and look at them.
Yeah, that's weird.
And I think pity, to get us all the way back around, okay, I think pity's the same way. You know pity when you see it. You couldn't really give me a solid definition of exactly what it is, but you'd go, that person is pitying that person, and everybody would agree with you. Nobody would have a problem.
No, there is. I think there is a very, very, very fine line about, not fine line, but there's a very overarching thing about pity. And I feel as though pity is a big component of it, could be generalized to like a helpless child.
You pity a child.
I think pity's like I have to help them. Like you help.
It's like
you have to help
it's
this
helpless
one
and
specific
viewing
person.
them as kind of a not lesser, but when I say child, it's like, oh, as an you're a higher.
I see. I think that pity has to have a gain of some sort.
No, I don't think it does. I think it might. I think the gain could be like maybe you feel better about
I
helping this
think that the
person.
fact that we can't
But
all
like,
agree on anything is
I
just
think it's just the fact of like helping
hammering my point.
someone
And my
because they're suffering or in pain.
yeah,
It is.
that's my point though, is like it doesn't have to be like an actual physical gain or like a monetary gain or anything like that. It's just like a gain for yourself where you're like, yeah, I did this because I'm better, you know, or yeah, I did this because
But I think that, I don't know. I don't think you have to do anything to pity somebody. I don't think help is
I
like
mean,
a core
true.
component of pity.
that is true.
Like you
I
can
agree.
pity somebody and do nothing.
But
I
Like,
it's
agree with
still
that.
damn, that sucks.
That's true.
in
That
your
is very
mind.
true.
In your mind, you're like you're still gaining because it's like, oh, well, this person's in a shit scenario. I'm not. That sucks for them.
Yeah, couldn't be me.
It'd be me. I'm great. You know.
You know,
Like that.
okay. This is a very specific example because I just recently am going back and rewatching the Hunger Games, but
Dude,
I'm
Nicole
thinking
is
about
too.
pity. Yeah, it's because for the new movie, I was watching
Uh,
with Alexa.
There's a new
But
movie.
yeah, there's a new movie that's coming out. It's like a prequel, but
Another.
yeah, it's in the middle of the prequel and the first one. But anyway,
Okay,
I digress.
Anyways.
I feel as though pity, going back to when I said kind of like a childlike helplessness, not that you pity a child, it's just that you see a child like, oh my God, they're a lot more helpless than me as an adult. And I'm seeing pity in that scenario of the rich people in the capital be like, oh, I'm so sorry you got chosen during the reaping. It's like, you rich motherfucker. You know?
Yeah. It's like, what do you mean?
Well,
Like,
It's
fuck
your
you.
fault.
they're not actually sorry though, right? Like
It's
they
like,
don't
oh, you
actually
poor
feel pity.
thing. It's
Oh
that.
yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
Bless your heart.
You poor
Yeah.
thing. That is
Like you
such a
see
good.
him as like an animal or like a pet or something.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Oh, a helpless child or like a wounded animal.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
I-
where does the phrase "I pity the fool" work in all of this?
Because
Okay, Mr. T
the
is above
fool
everyone.
yeah, you can't just reference Mr. T, okay?
Yeah, he's
To use
Mr. T's
the
up here.
word.
Mr. T's up here. Zarathustra down here. I'm sorry. Okay.
I fear I'm out of the
Thus spoke
conversation
Mr.
loop. I
T.
don't know who Mr. T is.
Oh
know, Mr.
my,
T.
you know.
Bro,
I pity the fool. You know
I
that
pity
phrase.
the fool.
You know, he knows that phrase.
Bro, you've seen him. He's like
Um,
a
He's got like the 3 mohawk.
yeah,
and he wears like crazy
chain.
like chains.
Yeah, chains.
Oh,
And he's super
Yeah,
muscular.
you know.
okay.
You
Okay, yeah, I know.
This picture of him is crazy. Like shiny.
Guys, we're not making it through
Well,
this whole
I feel
4
like
parts. I'm gonna keep it still.
I was about to say, I feel like we just kind of have to agree
We really
that we
gotta hammer
can't
this
really
down.
agree on the pity, and just move forward unless we just want to keep on
I don't know,
talking
because
about
I
pity.
feel like we can't move too much too far forward
I
if we
think-
don't have a solid understanding at first, because
I think
there's
we
so much
can.
pity.
maybe it will gain an understanding.
Yeah, I pity you guys for not understanding pity.
I think at the
Guys,
end of the day,
I
it's just like
understand that
don't feel
pity.
bad for anyone, right?
Yeah, fuck everyone.
Don't feel.
Thank you, Connor. I'm glad you picked up. I'm glad you picked up my joke. My sarcasm. But I don't. I mean, I think it is kind of what he's saying is to just not help for the sake of helping because you think they need help, but rather let them come to you. Since um, I guess I don't think he wants you to go out of your way unless they go out of their way. That's kind of what I mostly think.
Yeah, because he never said refuse help, or he never says to refuse helping somebody.
Yeah. But I'll move on. We'll try to finish.
Yeah.
We'll zoom past these a little bit. I think we have talk with the kings next. So Zarathustra hears his distress, his cry of distress. He feels pity for them, which, yep, of course, his last sin. So he's going out to help them or see who it is. I mean, part of it was the fact that Soothsayer said it was a higher man, so I think that garnered his attention. And so along this journey, along this route through his forest, his mountain, he runs into two kings with a donkey.
Two kings and an ass.
Yep. So he runs into these two kings and he talks to them. They basically left their town because, or their kingdoms. I think it mostly for the part of just like everyone was kind of being fake and greedy, uh, politics for their own political gain, social gain, monetary gain, and so they were getting sick of that. People were being what's the word? Too much of flatterers, so they want to leave their kingdom. And I think that's what a lot of
Ass
this.
kissers.
Oh my god!
Oh
Yo,
wow! Wow!
what a connection! Wow. Okay, that just blew my mind. Actually,
I'm not gonna lie to you. I just said that off of a whim. There was no connection being made on my part, but I'm glad you
Well,
made a connection off of that, and I'm excited to hear what you and Seth have to say later.
well, it's because
It was the whole ass party.
yeah.
they're two kings and an
Well,
ass.
they
Yeah,
have they're carrying it with them. Um,
they
They're
love
carrying
it.
ass that they like to kiss with them. So they can't kiss any more asses.
No wonder all of them were freaking on their knees for it.
Said Murphy.
All right, spoils.
uh, so
Jumped way ahead.
that's what this part's about, though, is just the annoyance of like followers and how greed and kingdoms, royalty can corrupt politics and all that stuff. I don't really feel like talking about that kind of stuff too much. About zoom past this unless
Tired
someone else wants to.
topic.
Yeah.
Tired topic.
So move that. So Zarathustra tells them, "Go to my cave. My
The
animals will be
first he
there."
sends to his cave.
Yeah.
Oh
So
First
wait,
for
no,
him
he
to come
invited
back
person
to
to his
later.
cave are the two
no,
kings.
because he invited the soothsayer first, didn't he? He said
Oh
like
yeah, he did
at some
fight
point
it.
he was
He
like,
did invite the
"Hey,
soothsayer first. He's like, "But your
that one time
melancholy."
wasn't the first time, or
Yeah.
that one time wasn't the last time."
So now we move on. He finds the leech,
The leech, bro.
the spiritually conscientious one. I think that's what he's called here. I think that's what this man's called. So basically, this guy is just sitting in a little swamp, and Zarathustra trips over him, and the guy gets angry. He's like, "Yo, watch where you're walking." And he realizes Zarathustra. He's like, "Oh my gosh, it's Zarathustra. I'm so sorry, sir. I should not have been sitting there." Um, and so he takes his arm out and just cover in blood because he's having to leech, take all his blood from him. And Zarathustra's like, "My man, what are you doing?" And so he's talking about how he's so into leeches. He loves leeches, so he just does like laying it suck his blood.
Be their brains for
Um,
years.
he's a big studier on leeches,
He's a big
and
leecher.
so he calls himself, interestingly enough, I'm just going to talk about this for a little bit because I kind of like this part. Um, he calls him he calls himself the spiritually conscientious one, which I'll read it right here. He literally says, "I am the spiritually conscientious one," answered he who was asked. "And in matters of the spirit, it is difficult for anyone to take it more rigorously, more strictly, and more severely than I, except him from whom I learnt it, Zarathustra himself. Better know nothing than half know many things. Better be a fool on one's own account than a sage on the other people's approbation." And this is the interesting part, where he calls himself spiritually unconscientious, a sage on one account, and that in this case is leeches. And this hits part to the idea, I think, that Zarathustra tried to put out, which this man is focusing too much on science. And Zarathustra's kind of been a little bit against that before, where it's been like too much on science, not enough about life, not enough about the physical world, because science, in a sense, can take you away from the physical world, which is sounds a little ironic, but I think it is kind of true.
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
And so to like Zarathustra, meaning in life are more important. Like figuring out meaning in life is more important than like focusing on one thing super aggressively. Like just knowledge for knowledge's sake. Um and yeah, so I that's kind of like it was an interesting idea that I know we've talked about before, but kind of wanted to reiterate it because I like it. I like the idea. It's a cool one to me. Not taking science too seriously, and even to the point where you replace religion with it, you know, because that's kind
Mhm.
of what people do sometimes.
Yeah, to some people, science is their religion. You know,
Yeah.
Psychology,
it
baby.
answers all the same questions that religion is supposed or is meant to.
Yeah, and that's his issue with it, is like, no, you should be focusing on find your own aspects of life that you enjoy, meaning in life and all that purpose, all that for yourself. Um, but next we go into the
He invites him
magician.
to the
Oh,
cave too.
he invites his spiritually conscientious one to the cave too. And then he goes along some more and he runs into the magician. And the magician it was kind of strange. The magician's trying to like on like this whole show of being in pain, uh, not being understood by God. Um, I, yeah, I mean, it's just I don't know. It's some weird
He like
song.
speaks in verse.
Yeah, and eventually Zarathustra's just like, enough of this. The guy's over here too busy talking about how like I don't know, God sees everything in him, and he's like he was ashamed by it or something like that. And Zarathustra's like, hey, yo, enough of this. This is annoying me. And he realized he's like, I call you out as like a fake, basically. Like you're faking all of this. And the magician's like, oh yeah, you're right. My bad. My bad, bro.
You caught me.
You got me. Um, and so the magician though kind of like reveals his role in the sense of like he is someone who brings about melancholy. This is the almost a character flaw for Zarathustra, which is the magician's almost like a poet, just like Zarathustra, who brings about a world and feelings and emotions through his verses and poetry and songs. The difference is the magician kind of brings about a melancholy feeling, like a sad kind of feeling. And the other part of the magician, though, too, is the difference between him and Zarathustra is that the magician feels like so tired and weary of his shows because he's faking it the entire time. He's ingenuine. He's lying all the time. And it's gotten to a point where he almost just lies all the time. It's just all he does. And he's so just tired of it, um, which is an interesting thing. Lying, I guess.
Like the opposite of the actor from Myth of Sisyphus.
Yeah, it's like he's just making stuff up just to make stuff up almost.
He's
there's
lost
no
himself
like
in the character.
story. Yeah, exactly. It's not even like it's a character. It's like just it's just a lie. You know.
Yeah. Just for the sake of lying, and then also just for sake of like bringing negativity out upon the world, which is another interesting thing because I know Zarathustra hates this person. Doesn't like most of these people he's ran into, I think. But yeah, he still invites him to his cave, you know? Maybe because he
But
pays
he
him, I don't
does
know.
invite him to the cave.
Yeah, so
Yeah, he
Zarathustra ends
invites
up
him.
inviting the magician
Oh,
to
he
the cave.
does. My cave, however, is large.
Enough for many people.
You like that one, Connor?
Connor.
That's what, that's what he said.
I'm gathering a whole bunch of dudes in this cave. You want to join in? Like,
My
admit
cave
it.
got plenty of room, bro.
Come to the goon cave, man.
Oh God, no.
Bro. Ah,
Call me Uncle
well,
Goon Man.
Not with fucking Goon Man, dude.
dude, what are we doing here?
Is there a gooner?
The Goon Cave.
Guys,
Sorry,
can we write a parody about Zarathustra? I think Connor's got
Well,
some good ideas.
we have to finish the book first.
yeah. I'm kind of whipping through these people, by the way. Like, I would like to talk about the
Keep whipping
magician some
through them.
more, but I do kind of want to finish. So, but like, if anyone has any notes or wants to say anything
I'll
about any of these
stop you.
people, please,
I
yeah,
wouldn't.
please stop
Don't
me.
worry.
I was kind of gonna wait till you finish with all the people. I wouldn't mind talking more about them after we've introduced
Okay,
all of the characters.
yeah, we can do that too. Well, he
However the
invites the
conversation
magician to the
flows.
save, and next chapter is titled "Out of Service."
Out of
Seth is
service.
excited about this one, I know. So along his route, he sees who he calls a necromancer, which would be a pope. Apparently the last pope, because apparently God has died. It's apparently we're coming to this huge revelation right now that God has died.
The old God is
The old
dead.
God is dead. And so this pope is out of service. And they talked a little bit about how, you know, the man is so sad because he served him for so long. And now he just doesn't know what to do with himself. He's highly depressed. And then Zarathustra's like, let him go. He's gone. But I'm going to read this right quick. Let him go, said Zarathustra, after prolonged meditation, still looking the old man straight in the eye. Let him go, he is gone. And though it honoreth thee that thou speakest only in praise of this dead one, yet thou knowest as well as I who he was, that he went curious ways. And I like the part where Zarathustra kind of like says, you, despite the circumstance, it's still honorable that you are praising him, even though you served him so long. He likes that loyalty, I think, and that honorability. But anyways, they talked a bit about God, like how Zarathustra's talked about in the past and all that stuff with religion. I'm not gonna get into that because it's pretty much the same stuff. Um, but the big part I think here is that we're talking about now the old God is dead all of a sudden. That's kind of the big part, and now you have a pope who's invited to the cave.
He is
You
collecting
got
a
a
bunch of
pope,
people.
a magician, the conscientious man who's obsessed with leeches, and some kings.
Oh,
And the
and the
soothsayer.
soothsayer.
Oh, and the soothsayer. Forgot. We've gotten
So that's
quite the
what
collection here.
We do.
2 kings, a donkey, the conscientious leech guy. We got the magician, and now we got the pope.
All right, guys. A pope, a magician, a leash, 2 kings, a donkey, a soothsayer, and a magician.
Dream
Walking.
blunt rotation. Yeah.
I think they have a festival, Connor. I think I know where that joke goes. In fact, let's bring some more people over here, like the ugliest man.
Yeah, of course. Next, we have to add the ugliest man.
Of
What
course,
just
we gotta
happened
add
to
the
your
ugliest man
audio?
set.
Huh?
Huh?
Was that just me? He went away, and then you just went all in your audio.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
I didn't hear nothing.
All right.
But
I guess it was
That's
just
been a
me.
case.
Anyways.
Just give him a sec.
I'm glad you thought it was funny though.
and so now we have the ugliest man, and Zarathustra's enjoying himself. He's like, "Wow, I've met so many people today. The honey is working its wonders right now." And he starts to hear some gurgling. He starts to hear like some like something that's like almost like someone's trying to make some words or something. And then eventually he comes out and he says, this ugly man, the ugliest man, says, Zarathustra, Zarathustra, read my riddle. Say, what is the revenge on the witness? I entice thee back, here is smooth eye. See to it, that thy pride do not here break its legs. Thou thinkest thyself wise, thou proud Zarathustra. Read then the riddle, thou hard nutcracker, the riddle that I am. Say then, who am I? When, however, Zarathustra had heard these words, what think ye then took place in his soul? Pity overcame him, and he sank down all at once, like an oak that hath long withstood many tree fellers, heavily, suddenly, to terror even of those who meant to fell it. But immediately he got up again from the ground, and his countenance became stern. I know thee well, said he with a brazen voice. Thou art the murderer of God. Let me go. Thou couldst not endure him who beheld thee. Whoever beheld thee through and through, thou ugliest man, that took revenge on on this witness. So the ugliest man is the man who has murdered God, who we just learned about in the past chapter, has apparently died. The ugliest man is an interesting character because the reason he's called the ugliest man is because he has so much shame for himself, tries to hide himself, and so he feels ugly. I guess as a person who he is, and so he tries to. So he murders God per se. I think it's more of a metaphorical sense, obviously. Um, but even after being rid of him, he still feels his ugliness, which is the interesting part. Um, and I think it's because he still holds on to the values from it, which I think Zarathustra has been a big, large part saying as well. Is like, despite like saying you don't believe, it's the values themselves that's the big part he doesn't agree with. And it's these values, like the moral values, which he doesn't agree with. And that's what makes it bad to him. Um, it, and then we have the pity argument again, where he's like, I mean, he said, pity overcame, and like we already talked about that, where maybe pity could be a bad thing, could be a good thing. I don't know. Pity's an interesting one, but yeah. So that's the ugliest man.
Never thought so much about a word, bro. I swear. Actually,
What
yeah, I have.
what
It's
about
always because of book club too.
yeah, I was about to bring
Always
that
because
up.
of fucking book club.
But yeah, so the ugliest man now gets invited to the cave. And we go along some more, and we see the voluntary beggar. Zarathustra is walking around. You see some cows. Uh, Kine is the word they use in here, but like I looked it up, it's like they're cows. Um, and you see him like listening to someone, and he goes up and like this person's like preaching to the cows or something like that. And Zarathustra's like, "Away, cows! Don't listen to this devil." And then so the man starts talking to him, and Zarathustra's just like still there with the cows. The cows are still listening. They didn't go away, but he's like protect them. He's like in front of them. He's like put his arms to his sides. And so this man is talking about the amazingness of cattle, how they just ruminate all the time, and that's all they do, just thinking about things. And so I'll read a little bit here. What do I seek here? Answered he. The same that thou seekest, thou mischief maker, that is to say, happiness upon earth. To that end, however, I would fain learn of these kind cows. For I tell thee that I have already talked half a morning unto them, and just now were they about to give me their answer. Why dost thou disturb them? Except we be converted and become as cattle, we shall in no wise enter into the kingdom of heaven. For we ought to learn from them one thing, ruminating. And verily, although a man should gain the whole world, and yet not learn one thing, ruminating, what would it profit him? He would not be rid of his affliction. His great affliction, that, however, is that person called disgust, who hath not at present his heart, his mouth, and his eyes full of disgust. Thou also, but behold these cows. And so he talks about how disgust is terrible, and how almost kind of like pity, actually, a little bit. Now I think about it, it's almost like you're judging someone out of disgust. You're disgusted by them, and in a sense, maybe pitying is kind of like judging a little bit. But this man, basically, to go back to the title, the voluntary beggar, he was corrupted by riches, and he wanted to throw them away for the sake of humbleness. But however, when he threw them away to the poor, they were also corrupt. Um, the poor also want rebellion, riches, and pleasures, and so this is the interesting part. The idea that the poor, the common man, I guess in a sense, aren't corrupted by riches because they don't have it, but they're corrupted by the idea of riches and gaining more and more. And in a sense, that's what greed is, even to the rich people, where they're now corrupted by riches and they want more and more. And so now the poor start rebellion and all this stuff, and it's just chaos, all driven by, I guess, greed.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting talking point, I think. I want to talk about something that I know we kind of want to finish this book. Um,
I think we can pause here for a little bit because it's kind of an interesting idea.
okay.
Because I think that's like it's something that resonates with me because like this is something I've always told my friends. I was like, if I ever become rich and too big for my britches and I start acting different, you've permission to set me straight.
However that is.
Yeah.
However necessary.
Yeah, whatever you have to do, I give you advance permission.
This is getting clipped.
But I think I've kind of realized, and I think the truth, like as I've grown older, the truth has kind of been made clear to me that the idea is that money doesn't change you, it just exacerbates what you already are, right? And so I think that idea kind of resonates with this concept that it's like just because you're poor doesn't mean you're magnanimous or not corrupted by the love of money. You don't need money to be corrupted by it, right? Just like having money doesn't solve all of your problems, I guess I think it's something that like I think when as you you get to see all the people in your life take all these different paths. And it's already been interesting to see the direction that some people I know, the direction their lives went in. Right. And I think it's interesting that I think it's very common to think, oh, they came into some money. Oh, they lost all their money. And it's like really the possession of the good doesn't change who you are at your core. That made sense.
Makes perfect sense, man. That's something that I've
Yeah.
been hearing a lot more too. The whole aspect of money just shows who you really are, who you really were from the very beginning. I think that's definitely becoming a much more popular. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the algorithm feeding me whatever I fucking knows I want to hear. But regardless, it doesn't change the fact that yeah, I've been hearing that a lot more in my more recent years of life.
Yeah. Well, And I think that's part of it too, is like people have this natural tendency for like it's like a sin and yeah, I know that Zarathustra wouldn't like it, but like for greed. And just because some people are poor and don't have money doesn't mean that they aren't necessarily greedy once they get it, right? And so like
Yeah.
once they get a taste of this money, like in this case, like with a book, they now start to want more of it, and then like do the whole rebellion and everything like that. Um, that's why, and here it says by Zarathustra, how much harder it is to give properly than to take properly. That this bestowing well is an art, the last subtle is master art of kindness, which kind of goes with
Oh
the
wait,
pity
dude,
thing.
that goes so well with our conversation. It is so difficult to give
And
in the right
Yeah.
way.
and that's the thing too, is like if you just give people all this money and stuff, I think they will. I don't. I mean, obviously it's their fault, but like you're almost giving them this like new whole thing, which now disrupts their system, and like now they want more of it because now they have a taste of it. It really reminds me of how when Sparta was like started gain more. What's the right word? I guess accumulation of wealth through their interactions with outside city states. Um, their systems kind of started collapsing because it was very tight internally on monetary, not giving it much value. But then once they start getting relations with other city states peacefully, then money became more of like an actual thing, and it kind of put along some part of the downfall of Sparta. Um,
Hmm.
so it is
I,
interesting.
I just want to say, like, if I ever won like the lottery or something, just like
Mhm.
90 mil in my bank account, you know, I'm not just gonna be like, well, I guess it's my 90 mil, you know. I'm giving all my
Mhm.
friends like 5 mil, you know. Then
Hmm.
I have like
Yeah.
I got like
Damn.
That's a
50
great
mil.
idea.
Yeah, and then I got like 50 mil in my bank account. I go buy land out in the middle of nowhere, build
Yeah.
up a bunch of houses, and then I
Yeah.
invite all my friends to come live with me on our new homestead. And then we all live our life out peacefully, farming our own food, living on our
No,
own little piece of
that's
land.
where you lose me. I don't want to farm. I'll hang out.
Yeah,
And
I'll chill.
listen,
I'll
we
come
still need
swing by.
engineers. We still need engineers to take in programmers, okay? So we're all
Mhm.
right, don't worry.
Boys, we're gonna need to automate these farms. I hope y'all know that's me, IRL
Yeah,
Minecraft. So we're gonna need y'all.
we are
I'm
gonna
down
create
with IRL
That
Minecraft.
sounds pretty sick, actually.
If we
Okay,
could
now
Yeah,
you're
okay,
kind of
so you do
convincing
straight to
want
me.
to
like the
automate your
mid-tech
farm.
age, yeah, that'd be cool.
we're gonna start our own country.
Awesome.
Uh,
Called the Unkner.
Hold
a
on.
country unkner.
I love it. Yeah,
That'd be
like
awesome.
I think it
It's growing
basically like
on me.
I think at that point it's like I don't think giving money away like that is bad. You know, like I know it's kind of selfish because I'm just giving money to who I care about,
It's
and
not that selfish.
Yeah.
Sure.
well,
It's
some people would be like, you should be more philanthropic. You know, you should invest that money in your community. You should try to better, you know, your area and all that other stuff.
Oh, morals this, oh, morals that. If I
Yeah,
Yeah,
learn anything out
pity,
this book,
pity, pity.
fuck the morals.
I'm just being full honest. Like I'm not gonna donate that. I'm 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 definitely giving that all to my friends and family.
See, but Connor,
So
this
that
is the
we can
part though.
all
This is the part though, right? If like let's say you give that 5 million to like David, for example. We all know how David is. Dude, that money can corrupt him and mess
yeah.
him up.
Dude, it's gonna get butt
I think that's the
injections and
issue
his
that we're
butt's gonna
talking
get
about here.
bigger. Oh my
Guys,
god.
come on. You know I'm just gonna go because put all that 5 mil on black and wanna double it.
Oh my god, that'd be so hype.
That would
We
actually
gave
be so
David
hype.
$5 million and he immediately puts it all on black.
Dude, that would be so hype
I'd be
actually.
there.
That'd be so
David,
That'd be
incredible.
so hype.
David, and if you won, David, I would have so much respect for you. Like, you have no idea how much respect I'd have for you.
What if he lost?
That would be incredible.
Like, I already have an insurmountable amount of respect for you, but that would just triple
that
somehow.
would over the
Triple.
moon.
Just like your money.
And
Yeah.
how we said, if I lose it, you still respect me because I was willing to go through the risk.
I would say I pity you.
Oh man.
That's so
What
funny.
a
Yeah.
callback.
Well, the voluntary beggar gets invited to the cave
Yeah.
Of course he does. Of course he does.
because he's just
Cave
inviting
party.
everyone.
About
It's just a
his
whole party.
damn cave.
Cave party.
And next we have the shadow.
The last guy, isn't he?
This is
believe he
hey,
is.
don't spoil it.
Yeah,
Hey,
dude,
my
what the
bad.
hell?
Sorry.
So next we have the shadow who calls himself Zarathustra's shadow, and
He really spooked Zarathustra.
he does. I want. Nah. It's all right. Like, yeah. So he scares Zarathustra. Zarathustra starts like
Running away from his
running
own
out.
shadow.
Yeah. And he starts chasing the voluntary beggar was running back to the cave, and then now Zarathustra is chasing the voluntary beggar. The shadow's chasing him. And you have like a whole Scooby Doo situation. But then Zarathustra's just like, wait a second, what am I doing? I'm being ridiculous right now. This is just a man. I hear his footsteps. Like, this is just a regular guy. And so he turns around and he's like, halt. And the man just like falls straight down. Like, he just takes a big on fall down. And so he's a very like, what's the word? Fragile man, not the word I'm looking for, but close enough. Um, and so this man says he's all he's done is just follows Zarathustra, he follows whoever. He's a wanderer, and he's
He's a
just kind of
specific
been.
kind of wanderer.
That's if you want to know, read the book. And so, but like the thing is though, with this guy, he's a shadow of Zarathustra, so he's just followed Zarathustra around, just pure follower. Um, the people Zarathustra had to leave at one point because they were infatuated with him, and so this guy's followed Zarathustra's teachings, and like he's forgone all guiding paths. But now because of this, he's lost and unsure about life because he hasn't thought about anything himself. And we've looked
Classic.
into that. Yeah, we've talked about that a bit. So now this man is very feeble. That's what I was looking for because of this. But yet he gets invited to the cave.
The
So
man in the cave.
I always forget this guy was German.
so next we have that was the last person. Sorry, everyone that had to be spoiled for you. But next we have, everyone's gone to the cave now, and Zarathustra is alone now, next to a tree, and he starts singing a little ditty because he's feeling so much joy about just the current moment he's in, the amount of relaxation and like just taking in life, and taking the moment he's in right now.
He found a good tree. He
Yeah.
found a real good oak tree.
He's got
We've
no
all been
worries,
We love that.
no
yeah.
anxiety, pure peace and silence. The part I want to bring up here though is this little quote right here. What hath befallen me? Hark! Hath time flown away? Do I not fall? Have I not fallen? Hark! Into the well of eternity. And so here he's kind of fighting the ability to stay awake and like, he still has work to do. And just this idea of just staying here forever in this one perfect moment. Living in a moment forever. And this kind of goes with something that I think we've seen a touch of, but the idea of eternity and just having this one moment where it's just perfect and just living a life where you have these moments where you just want to live just live this moment consistently for all eternity. I think that's an idea that kind of gets brought up a little bit. And I think that's kind of what he tells people to almost strive for a little bit. Won't get too much into it now because I think we could talk about more later. But yeah, I guess let me move on. Unless anyone, I mean, actually, this is, I think, a good point. Is there anyone specific, any of these people that we want to talk about real quick before we move on to like him just talking to everyone and greeting them and all that stuff?
Spoilers.
Well, obviously he's gonna go into the. All right, Connor,
I,
you got me.
Spoilers.
I got to talk about my guy a little bit.
Yeah.
No one
Okay.
that stood out to me was the magician, but it wasn't a crazy standout. It wasn't like oh, let me dissect him. Let me see what he's all about. He's more about what happens after the meeting is what stood out to me about him.
All right. Well, we'll get there.
Mhm.
Connor, give it off to you. Anyone? All right. Well, next we have, lo and behold, the next chapter is called the greeting. You could have guessed that. Um. So in here, I don't really have too much about it. It basically just talks about, oh, my honey offerings have done such a good job bringing you all here. Um.
Lick the honey off of the floor, why don't you?
Yeah. And so he kind of talks about, he kind of like roasts them a little bit too here in his greeting. Let me see here. He says, "Ye yourselves do it." Oh wait, no. "Forgive me, however, ye despairing ones, for speaking such trivial words before you, unworthy verily of such guests. But ye do not divine what maketh my heart wanton. Ye yourselves do it, and your aspect forgive it me. For every one becometh courageous who beholdeth a despairing one. To encourage a despairing one, every one thinketh himself strong enough to do so." And that feels a little bit like pity, where he's like, "Man, you guys are just despairing ones, but I think I can encourage you. I think I'm strong enough to do it. You know, it's the whole pity, man, with all these people once
I'll
again.
help you out, man.
Yeah,
He brought in his little ragtag group of his pity party
yeah. But
into his cave.
I think the part about this though is like it's showing him like roasting them and stuff, but like it feels ugly in a sense, right? And I think it's pretty, it's some pretty nice writing where he's like trying to show you like, yeah, dude, this pitying stuff it's pretty nasty. Um,
Yeah.
because I mean he
You poor
does it.
helpless animal. Even think for
Yeah,
yourself. Let me help you out.
you
Follow my
despairing ones.
teachings.
And he says there, "It is not for you that I have weighed here in these mountains." Like, bro is just like, you guys are trash. Like,
Literally invited him all to his cave just to talk shit.
yeah. And I mean, like,
Awesome.
they are
He's
kind of like being like a little needy. Loki. They say, "Doth Zarathustra
I
still
mean,
leave?"
yeah, I was gonna say you have 10 motherfuckers all wanting shit from you. That's a
Yeah.
lot.
Oh, dude. They say, "Doth Zarathustra still live? It is no longer worthwhile to live. Everything is indifferent. Everything is useless, or else we must live with Zarathustra." Um, "Why
Oh,
doth he
nice.
not come who hath so long announced himself?" Thus do many people ask. "Hath solitude swallowed him up, or should we perhaps go to him?" And so, like, these guys are like, "And that we despairing ones have now come into thy cave and already no longer despair. It is but a prognostic, and it precedes that better ones are on the way to thee." And so it's just like these guys are like fully admitting, like, "Yeah, dude, we're so depressed now. Like, we just need you to guide us, please." And I think that's the part where he just doesn't like, where he's like, "Yo, guys, you shouldn't need me. Just you guys should like be able to figure out and live for yourselves." Which is kind of cool that it's the end of the book, because like we've been reading all this book, and at the end of it, he's been like, "Yo,
He's
stop
done helping.
needing
He's
me."
done trying to.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's done trying to
Yeah.
cherish teachings. He's over. He's a bitter old man
He's
now.
so sick of it, dude.
yeah. And now he's just pitying them, which is his big thing. Um, but yeah, I mean that's kind of about it for that chapter, I think. Next we
He
have, yeah,
came down from the mountains with such bright eyes, such new ideas in his brain. Oh, the world changed
and
him.
then And now he just doesn't even want to go see anyone. He's like
Wants to
so done
talk
with
to the
people.
wants to talk to his eagle and his serpent.
Now everybody's
And
hungry.
yeah, now we have the supper. Um, everyone's hungry, and the voluntary beggar is all like, "This guy, these people are gluttons. Um, these guys are all just like these guys just want stuff." And Zarathustra's just like, "Man, just try to enjoy life a little bit. Be a little bit happy. Come on now. We're just going to try to enjoy a good meal together. All right." And that's why he doesn't like the beggar for one reason is because it's mostly negative. Like you always just want to get rid of stuff. You don't want to enjoy life, which is I think a call out to people who try to give everything away to help others, um, instead of just trying to enjoy the moment. Like they feel negative about having things. And then so next we have the whole supper. They talk about the higher man, and this one lasts for a while. It's about 20 paragraphs talking about the higher man.
Yeah, this is where all the
Called
bullet points
this.
are.
It's
Yeah,
called the supper in the history books.
yeah, of
This
course.
is all they talked about.
During the supper was the higher man because, as you are aware, this is in the history books. Um, but I think a lot of it was just kind of him talking about the journey, I
Uh-oh.
guess. What's up?
Cut out for a
You
second.
just cut out for a sec, but it wasn't a big
Oh,
deal.
I
Yeah,
see.
you're good.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I think it's kind of talking about Zarathustra's journey. Like the first paragraph, it talks about like him going to a marketplace and he spoke out to people. No one listened.
Mhm.
Dude, to the very beginning.
From the very beginning.
Yeah. And he starts talking about God and how he was their higher man's greatest danger. Um, I don't think it's necessarily God itself. It's the idea of everyone's equal. And I mean, we've
A
talked about that idea.
classic.
Yeah, we talked about that idea a lot.
Yeah.
Um,
The corn, the
the
stalks.
corn, such a, and the fact that it was in the screw tape letters too is such a perfect place for it.
I know.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much I mean, a lot of it here he is talking about morality and religion. Um, and kind of his main points too were like, we want you to grow rather than stay content. Like look for more. Like I like can just continue growing. You know, be courageous. Um,
It's kind of like a
yeah,
big, grand, recap of everything he's been trying to accomplish over the course of this book.
yeah. That's
You
that's really
know,
what it is. It's just a lot of all of
learning
his
to enjoy
points.
life, learning to do it on your own. Like,
Dance at the awkward moments.
Yeah,
yep,
enjoy life. Take risks.
yep,
Um,
move quickly. Like, don't stay
yeah,
still.
good things take time. I think part of it too. There's some new ones I kind of knew that I remember, which was let me see if I can find. Oh, part of it. I just remember seeing some points where he's like talking about don't ruin things if it's something you can't do, which I don't think he talked too much about that. Um, which I think is a fair point. Let me see. Let me read this. Be not virtuous beyond your powers, and seek nothing from yourselves opposed to probability. Which is kind of interesting to me. It seems kind of a little contradictory, so I guess I'm actually going to ask this to y'all. It seems a little contradictory to me. Because he's over here talking about, continuous growth, becoming better than who you currently are, but then saying not to do anything beyond your powers. And like to grow, don't you kind of have to try to do things beyond your powers, right?
To an
So
extent. Uh, it, it, I I would say in running a business standpoint, going too big too soon. You can do small within your power, but if you if you try to expand too fast too soon, get ready to lose some money, son.
Yeah, I feel like it's it's like understanding your limits, and because you know where your quote unquote limits are, pushing them. But if you don't understand where your limits are, either you will jump right into something that you just won't ever be able to achieve. Like it's like growth is about this like slow pushing of the envelope one step at a time to like get further and further along, right? If you understand your limits but you never go beyond them, then you don't grow. If you don't understand your limits and you just jump into the hardest thing, you don't grow either. You just fail, you know. So I think that's kind of what he's trying to get at is like, you know, always be growing, but don't go beyond your powers. Like don't go beyond that gentle expansion of yourself. That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's kind of just like maybe like slow growth in a sense.
It's
Ye-
not even necessarily slow growth. It's like,
Limited growth.
yeah, know when you've bitten off more than you can chew, you know.
Mm,
Because I don't think it has to be slow. I think you can expand very quickly if it's within your power, right?
mm. So it's kind of like you have to wait for the right position to grow, like the opportunity to
Yeah.
come.
Right opportunity, the right like moment. Like an example in my life right now. Okay, I'm doing this pipeline project. I honestly, I hate it, dude. It's awful, and it's like it's been so long since I've been put in a situation where I feel like I know so little and I'm still need to deliver, right? And a coworker kind of like changed my mindset on how I was looking at it because I was like honestly getting a little discouraged. He was like, "This is a project that would have been given to someone with 10, 15 years of experience, right? And it's like you can either be scared of that or you can see how much of an opportunity is for you to learn and grow in an environment where there are people who are here to help you. You know, you're not doing this alone. There are people who know how to do this here, right? But at the end of this project, you will have done this 100 times. You will be an expert because you're getting exposed to something that you wouldn't otherwise, right? And so if I walked up to this company by myself as an individual and said, I'm going to do this, that would be not understanding my own powers. I'd be creating a false promise and I'd fall flat on my face, right? But I have the opportunity to grow really fast because there's support around me that I now know exists and can keep me from fully failing, right? I might still fail, but not in a way that I don't grow from it, right? There's like levels of failure. There's like, oh, I made a mistake and I will grow from that. And there are like failures that like set you back, you know. Not every failure is good for you. Hot take. Some are bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Some you will learn from, but what you learn is not worth how much you had to pay for it, you
Well,
know?
in a sense, it is kind of like you're acknowledging your own, um, not faults, but inability, because you're understanding you have to also rely on people and things to help you in this moment. So
Mhm.
you you're taking it as a moment for growth, but like not to the point where you're going to ruin the product or whatever the pipeline, whatever it is,
Mhm.
because of your own inability. You're going to reach out and use your resources,
Yes.
and you
Yeah,
will grow as a result.
I almost feel like I do better whenever I'm given a task and I don't have support.
Mm-hmm.
Because then it's kind of like a figure it fucking out, dude. Because if you don't, you're cooked. You know?
Yeah.
What if you can't figure it out, Connor? Like, what if you do actually need help?
Well, I'll use work as an example too. Whenever we started this whole BAS stuff, it was a situation of like, hey, no one in the company does this right now. You're going to be the first one to start doing it. So if you have issues, you got to figure it out. No one can help you.
Yeah.
And it was a terrifying experience, but now I have 8 of these jobs under my belt. So it's like, now I'm the person that they call whenever something's going on. And it because I was thrown out to the wolves and they told me, hey, you either sink or you float. And I just so happened to float. I feel like I'm leagues and bounds ahead because I managed to float, you know?
Yeah. But do you think like if you would have failed there, do you think you would have been fired?
Oh,
Like, do you think it would have like ended your career?
Was the risk of the failure enough to
I
justify?
don't, you see, I don't think I would have been fired, but here's the thing. We could have potentially lost a major contract because
Yeah.
we would have had to say, hey, we can't handle this. And then we would have been receiving less money per job from this contract. We would have gotten none of these BMS jobs for this contract. And then not only that, but they would have just sent me back to regular service and I wouldn't have gotten the monetary gains that I received from heading this project. You know what I mean? So I felt like I would have just been, I wouldn't be where I'm at now if I would have failed because I've gained so much monetarily and I've gained so much like knowledge wise from the sink or float situation to the point where I feel like the ends justified it, the means, you know what I mean? So it's like
Yeah.
if I would have failed, I feel like the potential for failure outweighed or didn't outweigh the potential for success.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day,
Okay.
if I would have failed and they would have fired me, for example, I also have the very good or I'm also lucky that in my career there's a million companies right now hiring. So it's like
Yeah.
if I would have failed, I could have just went to the next company, you know? You know what I mean? So it's like it wasn't I guess at that point it wasn't a really big risk.
I mean, don't sell yourself short. It was still a big risk, right? But like, I don't know.
But basically what I'm saying,
It's
like,
hard.
yeah, it is hard, but this was like a career move opportunity that was given to me very early on in my career to the point where it was like I'd be stupid to say no. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Even though you
You
had
had to
no
take the
idea what was
risk.
going on, like you
yeah,
have to
so
at least try.
if I would have limited myself and said, "Hey, no, I don't think I'm ready for this," like that was a career move that I just gave up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to force yourself to take the opportunity.
Yeah.
So do you think there's
Oh
ever a point
man.
where, because I'm sure you didn't have the means to do it at first, right? So like, I mean, is there ever a point where you don't do something beyond your means? Like how you mentioned here at one point, or, and this is a question for anyone, like,
I mean, all the time. I feel like for me, like work is different. I'm a capitalist wet dream. I'm just the perfect little worker bee. You know, I'm like, yeah, yeah, throw anything you want at me. I'll try it. But when it comes to other things in life, I am so docile. I am so safe.
Yeah.
okay,
That's so interesting.
depends, and
I want to, yeah, because it's like, I
depends
don't
on what
know.
you're good at, I guess. Because like,
Yeah.
I guess in your sense is more a broader sense where like I'm good at working, you know,
Yeah.
so
I
it gives
know
you the
I'm
opportunity.
yeah, I know I'm
Yeah.
confident in my work ethic and in my work. But in other things in life, whenever I'm not confident in something, I mean, you guys have heard me, I pass Connor's a dick kind of thing, you know? I yeah, I just don't have the confidence whenever it comes to other stuff.
Fair enough.
I know that feeling, like with the work. It's like the same thing. It's like that's why this whole experience was so odd for me, because my mentality has always been like jump in, learn something new, like grow, grow, grow. And this is the first time where I was, and it was like, it's always worked out. I've always figured it out. I've gained a lot of confidence in my ability to figure it out. Right. This is like the first time that I looked at the overwhelming like work in front of me and thought for a second, what if it all comes crashing down right now? Like, what if this is the one that does me in? What if this is the one I shouldn't have committed to? And obviously, I look at it differently now. I feel a lot better about it. But there was a split second where I was like, is this the one that like sinks me? You know? And maybe that's just how, maybe you just kind of have to get, maybe that's how you learn your limits. I don't know. It's complicated.
You do
Yeah,
need the pressure, I think, to be able to grow.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
I guess
Yep.
it's like the pressure in your own field, I guess, maybe. Like, I guess it's like a painter. You know, they're not going to have a painter. A painter is going to know not to start making pipelines, right? Like they know that that's without their limit. That's with outside
Yeah.
their stuff.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah.
I guess it just depends if it like whatever's within your field, I guess. Push yourself in.
Good point.
Well, next we have the Song of Melancholy. I think it's from here. So at this point, Zarathustra steps out, and then the magician starts taking over. The
The Trisha
magician's,
got overwhelmed with all the people.
yeah,
He's
he's like, I
getting
can't
tired
handle
of it. He
this
needs some
anymore.
fresh air.
Yeah, I need my animals, is what he said.
Yeah.
And so he starts. So then the magician is like, "Oh, the evil devil spirit in me is wanting to come out. I can't control it, guys. I'm so sorry." And so,
That's why I was saying he was like, that's why I wanted that whole aspect of him saying, I don't know whether it's a woman or a man, but it doesn't even matter. It's a devil inside of me and I can't control. It's gotta come out.
There's a full moon.
so here we
So
go.
awesome. The magician just can't help himself, bro.
So then the magician starts to sing a song that honestly, apparently, brings down the whole vibe of everyone, makes everyone start to.
Actual vibe killer, dude.
And it starts to make.
Zarathustra steps out for 1 second and somebody starts playing something whack on the aux, and now the
Starts
party's
playing,
ruined.
someone starts playing Creep.
Yeah.
But in an actual sense, like in a metaphorical sense, the magician is almost like showing how people can be like Zarathustra, who are great poets and great orators, speakers, what have you, but presented for bad, negative reasons. Like, which I think just goes to the point of like you can't just believe whatever anyone says, even if it's pretty words. In this case, like he starts making people do the opposite of what they learned before, like focus less on life and focus more on um, whatever, some kind of like other world, and start having negative thoughts about oneself again, shame and all that. Um, and yeah, so that's what this is about, really. Is everyone starts feeling negative about themselves because of the magician's beautiful poetry, but with negative meanings behind it. And then all of a sudden, the spiritually conscientious one comes out in the science chapter and is like, "Hey, yo, this guy's trying to seduce all of you. He's a false one. Don't listen to this guy. Starts trying to wake everyone back up. He's like, you guys, looking at all of you right now, all you so-called higher men, I see that look in your eyes. You're wanting something. You're wanting those negative feelings. You desire that, don't you? You want those negative feelings.
Little
Um,
freaks.
that's so funny. Um, and so he starts talking about like his negative feelings. And I thought it was interesting because it goes into a little bit of how depression works, from what I know about it a little bit, and like how depression makes you almost want to feel sadness and negative things. Like it makes you feel kind of trapped into it.
You gotta feel something instead of nothing, even if it's negative.
Yeah, so I thought that was interesting, and how like people, in this case, a magician, can almost invoke that in people too. Like those desires of negative feelings. I don't really have anything to talk about for it, but it's just something that seemed interesting to me. Um, it talks about fear a little bit, which I think we talked about before a little bit, but like the idea of how fear is the fundamental emotion in people, and like how people are afraid of like what they don't understand, which you know, same idea. It causes people to want to look out for something, an explanation that might not be real, but just something explain it. Um, and then again, throwing out there in case anyone ever wants to stop me and talk about something, please. I'm just kind of spouting. Um, next chapter
And I think
among,
it's this.
yeah, please.
I would just say I think this chapter is like interesting narratively because it's like the longest we've gone without hearing Zarathustra.
Zarathustra's words. Yeah,
Yeah, in a book
We're actually
called
getting
Thus
the other
Spoke
characters.
Zarathustra. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, but it is funny. Um, the magician brings the vibe down, and then science guy comes in to save the day. But not for
Science.
science. He's like talking about how science sucks, essentially.
No, what I'm getting is you hire a scientist for your next birthday party, not a magician.
Yeah.
Yes, because
Yeah, kids, we brought the
magicians stink.
scientist.
He's here to
Yeah, that's all I had.
talk about how depressing you all look.
He's here
And
to talk
how,
about the inevitable heat death of the universe.
yeah,
Man, can't he just do some
you're always
elephant paste and
afraid.
call it a day, bro?
But yeah, then we move on to Among the Daughters of the Desert, which is I
Who
forgot
is this
who
one
it
from?
was. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to remember. Oh,
The
Zarathustra's shadow.
Wanderer.
Yeah, the shadower. The guy who's been all over
The
the place.
Shadower.
Yeah,
Oh
he
yeah.
went Zarathustra's shadow. And how he went to the east and he starts singing a little ditty of court because he's like, so I put together this song for the Oriental maidens. And so he starts singing the song to like I guess raise everyone's spirits again. Because of the magician, that evil man. Um,
I
but
want him on Ox.
low key, low key though, a part of a decent amount of this is kind of hating on Europe and the West, and saying that the East is kind of better because they don't have any of those religious morality stuff. Um, so that's entertaining, to just have
Yeah, fuck Europe.
yeah the West being hated
Not
on.
beating the allegations.
No, he's sure not. Okay, well, guys, we're almost done.
He really isn't, huh? Oh god.
He sure is not. Next we have the Awakening, and so basically, Arthur's just out of his cave, and he's everyone having a great time. He's like, "Yeah, I'm happy everyone's having a great time." And then everyone stops talking. Laughter goes away. Everyone stops talking. Like excitement. It was silent as it gets. And Zarathustra's like, "What the heck's going on?" So he goes in there, and I'm just gonna read this part because this part's funny. Um, all of a sudden, there's like everyone worshiping something. They're worshiping the donkey. They're pious again. Um, Amen. And glory and honor and wisdom and thanks and praise and strength to be our God from everlasting to everlasting. The donkey, however, here brayed, "Yeah, he carrieth our burdens. He hath taken upon him the form of a servant."
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's what it. Oh my gosh. Okay, thank you, David.
That's two donkey connections. David's in tune with his ass, bro.
You know I am,
Biggest
dude.
ass around, dude. I'm saying.
Carry out our
I
burdens.
also thought it was
Bro,
if it makes you feel any better. Like, what a weird thing for a donkey to say.
I do same.
I want y'all to know this from the bottom of my heart, in full genuinely. I just now put that connection. I was saying yeah before I do. Like I was like yeah.
Can you just read this one little segment though? Like, just take it out of context, okay? This is so off top. I'm sorry. For just then did the of the ass mix strangely with the noisy jubilation of those higher men. I'm sorry. That just sounds so wrong.
It's so awesome.
Yeah. Awesome,
I
huh?
love this book.
Yeah, you like
the
that stuff?
last part, like the absurdity of this book has like
It
come to its
is,
like
right?
full fruition.
Its full
Yes.
potential is
It's
here at the end.
fun.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so now basically everyone starts worshiping the donkey, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, this is God! Like this donkey is God because he's taking the form of a servant. Look how great he is. Look how kind he is. Just taking the form of a servant, and just always saying yes and
Motherfuckers
never
really
saying
went
no.
crazy after being in a cave for like an hour.
I know. And so now we have the Ass Festival,
Thank God.
where everyone's
I love
worshiping the
wait, real
donkey.
quick. My favorite line from the prairie goes, "Thou sufferest little children to come unto thee, and when the bad boys decoy thee, thou then sayest simply, Ye ah. The ass, however, here braid, ye ah." Like, what the hell? What's going on?
It's actually such an entertaining section.
It's awesome.
So yeah,
They're
everyone's
like, this
worshiping.
donkey's genius. He just ye ahs.
Like
Yeah.
he's so kind and just nice to him. And like
Yeah.
what a pure
And then
spirit.
the opening line of the next chapter.
At his place in the litany, however, Zarathustra could no longer control himself. He himself cried out, "Yee ah!"
He was
Like, yeah,
fed
guys, I can
up,
I can
dude.
do it too, boys. This isn't anything
This
crazy.
is the
Yeah.
most fed up Zarathustra has ever been. I swear.
And so he literally starts going one by one, like just to all of them, like, bro, what are you doing? Do you not see what you're doing? And like, do you not know who you are? Like, he goes up to the Pope, he's like, bro, you were a Pope. Why are you worshiping a donkey? And then he goes up to the ugliest man, he's like, bro, you kill God. Like, why you create a new one with the donkey?
The kings, bro. The kings worshiping the donkey they brought.
Yeah, like actually. So like, I mean, it's basically just a whole thing of like him being like, guys, what's going and just I think him like just showing the ridiculousness of just worshiping something and how people just naturally gravitate to a deity, even if they've thrown away the old one, like just because that's just what people do, out of fear and stuff. And it's just kind of like a satirical piece of work here, honestly. Um, they're just kind of showing ridiculousness, like it's a ridiculous kind of thing. And then after he gets people to be, normal again, he starts singing the drunken song, um, which is basically,
That's what you do when everyone gets normal again.
yeah, and everyone's like a little drunk on life now, feeling a little whatever. So he starts singing a drunken song, and if I remember it, it's mostly just kind of like, um, they're at midnight, and it's starting to get like it's kind of the opposite of noontide, midnight noontide, and how he like talks about how great noontide is. It's like this amazing part of the day, and like it's so bright and everything like that. And you have midnight, which is like so dark and can kind of be like sad and stuff. But he starts seeing it as more than that. Like midnight is also great too. That the bad is also great too. You can't have the good without the bad. And oh man, there's a certain line that I really liked, but I can't remember what it was. But this whole chapter, I think, right here is kind of getting to the point of like, look, there's bad moments in life, and that's happens. But you can reach these good moments in your life without all the bad stuff that's happened in the past. Like you won't be the person you are without all the bad things that happened before. And for
Mhm.
you
Mhm.
to want these great moments right now that are happening right now that you want to last forever, well, you need everything that's happened in the past to happen again to replay where you are in life, you know? And so you have to understand, you have to take these bad moments that happened in the past. If you yourself are truly enjoying this moment or where you're at or whatever, you have to also realize that everything that came before was a part of that leading up to now. So you can't have this without everything before. You have to accept it.
Mhm. He said it, or he said, this might not be the quote that you were talking about. This was something that stuck out to me, and it was in one of the early chapters, but it was just a quick sentence. He who cannot lie does not know what truth is.
Oh, I underlined that a while ago, actually, too. I was gonna bring that
Yeah,
up, but we're running short. I was actually bringing
it's
that as a
perfectly into
talking
this
point.
situation. Yeah.
Yeah. You
Dave, you
have
have gray
to,
hair.
huh?
Joke, super joke. But David, you have gray hair. Damn.
Dang,
That
dude.
thing's long.
just silver, guys. Just silver for the ring, boys.
Hey, how much is
Oh,
that
you're
though? How much,
rich.
how much, how much
You're
money
rich
is
as
that right now?
hell.
Please tell me.
I don't know. It's probably like $80.
$80,000. Oh my gosh, Dave! I didn't realize you were that rich.
$80,000.
I mean, you'd
Boy,
be
if it was
letting me drive his
$80,000,
Ferrari.
dude, dude, I wouldn't be messing around with it so carelessly right now.
Well, next we finish off after the big drunken song about life and being content with where you are and taking the bad moments as they came. And now we have to
Finally.
sign the end of the book with the lion coming and the birds, and apparently now there's a lion and Zarathustra's best friend, and it roars at all the higher men in the cave. To let Zarathustra have his moment of pure bliss back out on the rock where it all began, where the soothsayer came to him at first, where he left to go find everyone. And so now he's enjoying his moment. And thus he says, fellow suffering with the higher men, he cried out, and his countenance changed into brass. Well, that hath had its time. My suffering and my fellow suffering, what matter about them? Do I then strive after happiness? I strive after my work. Well, the line hath come, my children are nigh. Zarathustra hath grown ripe, mine hour hath come. This is my morning, my day beginneth. Arise thou great noontide. Thus spoke Zarathustra, and left his cave, glowing and strong, like a morning sun coming out of gloomy mountains. And thus he's removed all of his pity. He no longer cares about other people's suffering. That doesn't sound like he cares about his own suffering, his own happiness. He strives after his work being greater.
He girdles his loins.
He becomes the noontide. And yes, he girdles his
Loin girdler.
And that's Thus
What
Spoke
a
Zarathustra.
fitting conclusion for Zarathustra to finally become. Well, would y'all say it's a Superman at the end of it? Y'all think he
No.
in any
No,
way is
No,
more of
he's
a
not a
Superman
Superman.
than the beginning?
I would say he's more, but I don't think he's Superman. No.
He hasn't quite reached it yet. He's just the noontide. He's just the big glowing man now.
Yeah, he's just a helper still, I think.
He's the big glowing child.
The big glowing downgoer and uphaver.
Uphaver.
Overgoer.
Overgoer, yeah.
Overgoer. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, do you guys any final thoughts? Straight to the wheel.
No. We gotta scare some final thoughts just real fast.
I want that wheel so badly.
Quickies. Delayed gratification.
Just-
It'll be good for your dopamine receptors.
There. I can't argue. Well,
I'll start because I said
okay.
I am not gonna lie. I felt as though I had a better grasp of his philosophical stance prior to reading Zarathustra. I am a little bit more. I have it's, but I don't think I could sit here and say the big overarching philosophical idea of Nietzsche. I could give you the small focal points. Morals are stupid, organized, following organized, not specific organized religion, but following a higher power, the state, just mindlessly aiming and following also bad. Getting rid of your natural instincts, also bad. Own them. Don't push them down. Realize every single part of yourself. But I don't know. This book definitely made it a little personally.
I understand that feeling, and I definitely feel a little bit that way as well. But I think it's important to think about the context of this book, where Twilight of the Idols was like the last thing he wrote.
That's true.
So it's
That's also
like
very true.
it was like the conglomeration of all his ideas, where I feel like this book we were more assuming there's a little bit of Nietzsche and Zarathustra, right? We were more taken along the journey of the concepts that Nietzsche was trying to understand. And so I think it's okay to walk away from the book feeling a little confused, because Nietzsche probably walked away from the book feeling a little confused too. You know, it's very obvious, like you said, Howie, he's not the Uberman yet. It's like an admission from the author that he has these grandiose ideas of like what is the proper way, but it's hard to actually live them, right? Um, and in some ways, I feel like the Superman, the Ubermensch, is something that you strive to be but never truly become. You know,
Yeah, so
that's how I felt about the book.
for me it's so this book was his like ultimate coup de grace. I know Twilight of the Idols, I remember looking into him a little bit. Twilight of the Idols was apparently a good book to start with because it this out his ideas in more of a clear format, whereas this book was obviously more
Mhm.
narrative, more symbolic, satirical, metaphorical rhetoric. Um, but I do think that this book it made it fun to read in some cases, in some sense, especially the ending part where it all comes together. And it is definitely a harder read for sure. But I think the ideas still show mostly that he wants people to be, I guess, the Superman. It would be someone who is past morality, right, beyond good and evil, and almost is, I guess, completely honest to a fault in like everything they do. Where they don't do things for some specific other reason, such as pity or something like that, but rather they do things just, I guess, maybe because they want to do it or for their own growth or for maybe the growth of others. Um, but not by some like some made up rules and values, which is what he has the issue with morality and all the other stuff. Like, I mean, science rules, um, begging, and all that stuff. drawing pity. It all comes down to, I think, just having the strength to have your own. Well, one, to I think have your own values is a very important thing, to come up with that stuff your own. And two, to kind of strive for your own growth and don't just and help people when they want to be helped. Like let people listen. Don't try to force it on people. I guess that's kind of what I mostly got. Fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, I liked some aspects of the book. I liked some aspects of Nietzsche philosophy. I liked the whole, you have to be a beast of burden to become a lion to become a child. That was a nice little metaphor. Um, there's definitely some things I do not agree with. There's definitely points where I kind of lost the plot. But yeah, like you guys all kind of said, I mean, the important messages, I mean, are kind of plain to see, and I can get behind. But like, I kind of agree with Seth and David, where I kind of felt a little less secure in my opinion of my own philosophical beliefs after this. Um, where like after like, for example, Myth of Sisyphus, I was like, oh yeah, yep, 100%. You know what I mean? It's like I get it, but it's also kind of hard, especially whenever you know the history and you not like necessarily what happened with his teachings, but with Nietzsche himself, like he didn't really live up to his own beliefs, Um, so that's also kind of hard. But at the end of the day, like how you said, like the important things that are to be grasped from it, like take it with a grain of salt. It was written over 100 years ago, like that stuff still holds up. So take
Yeah.
take the good, leave the bad.
Yeah, because there's definitely bad in there, I think.
Yeah, like
So
that whole chapter that I refused to read when we did
The whole
Mhm.
his whole opinion on women is definitely something.
Yeah.
yeah, see, that's just bad. That's just
That
incorrect.
one was that right there. That's an outdated opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But there are important things, I think, and
Mm-hmm.
you can try to apply them, I think.
Oh yeah,
There's
for
definitely
sure.
good you can take from it. Not
It
the
just
I enjoyed
it's
that
also
there were
hard.
all. I was gonna
Yeah.
say I really enjoy that there were a lot of crossovers between this book that we made with not only Myth of Sisyphus, but with Screwtape Letters, and surprisingly with the Tao Te Ching. Like
Yeah, I
the
Very
like
book.
the
true.
Tao comparisons.
Yeah, very true.
But it is kind of hard because it's when we get to this point where you read a bunch of different, like the Myth of Sisyphus and Zarathustra, it definitely had some conflicting ideas too.
Mhm.
And like kind of how you said, like philosophy got kind of shaken up a little bit. Fellow secure, it's like, I mean, I think it's honestly a good thing because it forces you to almost
Mm-hmm.
grow,
This
like
is true.
Now we're actually building our own more.
yeah, like reevaluate, everything you've thought of before, which is I think is always
Yeah.
a good thing.
I think
But
that's
it's
the
hard.
biggest thing that I'm taking from this is, you have to build your own morals. Because a lot of times whenever like I would read philosophy books, especially like early on in my life, it would be like all right, well, I should probably try to live my life this exact way. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you should really be taking it with a grain of salt, And I think that's kind of the point. Like we're reading someone else's beliefs and he's just putting on paper and he's selling it and he's just trying to spread his belief of what things should be. And his belief in this case just had to be that you probably shouldn't just take what I'm saying at 100%, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, let's look what we
Awesome.
got. What we have left. We have
Oh, what do we
Slaughterhouse
have
Five,
left?
the Slaughterhouse Five, and a Vindication of the Rights of Women from Seth. We have In the Buddha's Words and the Prince from me, The Republic from Connor, and then Beyond Good and Evil and the Art of Worldly Wisdom from David.
Please, God,
Okay,
don't hit Beyond Good and Evil.
we're gonna spit again. I'm like actually good for real. Um,
We can't do
I
three in a
do-
row.
I need at least 2 books in between the next Nietzsche book.
Yeah.
Nietzsche Club.
No, I
Yeah.
agree. Well, I need a drum roll, boys. I need something to get me going here.
Chris is too good.
Spin the
wheel.
Guys, I'm excited. What book are we doing? What book are we doing?
Bro, stop. Stop.
There's no way.
No way, dude.
All right, we'll let it out.
Wait. Okay.
Let it out.
No,
That might be bait, boys. Okay, hold on. If by any chance it lands on it again, what are we doing?
There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. No.
Dude.
No.
Okay.
Your wheel's
No,
rigged, bro.
it's not happening. It's
You
not
had weights on the
happening.
wheel, Howie. I swear to God, you added weights to the wheel.
Take your finger off the wheel, bro.
It's not happening.
No.
And spin the wheel.
Okay.
Wait,
If it happens the third
wheel,
time, we have to
wheel.
read it. I'm sorry, boys.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh,
All right.
well, thank goodness.
Then we get
All right.
a vindication of
Should
the
have
rights of women.
Well, that's a great one to
watch again. Oh, she's really gonna want to watch
That's
this
like
one too, huh?
that's like the exact opposite of what we just.
I
got.
know. It's great because now we have a completely different. That's a whole new perspective. And
I can't believe it actually landed on Beyond Good and Evil 2 times.
I know, twice in a row.
I was so trolling when we were talking about it. I was like, "Yeah, it's not gonna happen." And then, well, here we go.
It was really bad to do a triple Nietzsche, dude.
Yeah, low key. I thought about it for a second. I was like, okay, well, if we do it a second time, we maybe kind of have to. But then once it actually landed on a second time, I was like, no, that we're not doing this.
How long is it even? Beyond Good and Evil.
Oh, let's see. I have it. Oh. It's definitely shorter than Thus Spoke Zarathustra and Twilight of the Idols. It's about this.
I still would have been at least a good 3-4
It would
months
have been
of book
a
club.
decent amount. It's about this version is about 240 pages.
Yeah. Okay. But now we don't got to worry about it. Now we got a new book. Send the Amazon link, somebody, please.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
This one's looking long, boys.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
That's all right. I want to get
mom.
I want to get the hardcover, boys. Ain't gonna lie.
The hardcover look like.
I kind of want to get the hardcover too. It's yellow.
Oh, it looks nice.
Yeah, it's like.
All right, it's only $15.
Yeah,
Are we doing the hardcover?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So we all know what the hardcover looks like, right? The yellow one.
Straight yellow.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll do that one then.
We'll have a good night.
Yeah, hopefully
good rest,
Seth calls me. I don't know. That's up in the air still.
Yes.
Hopefully
Also,
Seth texts me about stuff other than power tools.
I hope each and every one of you have a great day at work tomorrow.
Aw, you too.
Thanks,
I'm gonna
guys.
see the Odyssey
You too.
tomorrow. All right.
Yeah. Enjoy. Don't spoil. I'm seeing you on Monday.
I won't.
I'm
All
seeing
right.
it next
Bye.
week if Connor wants to go with me. See you guys.
See y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to today's book club. If you want to support us, please feel free to leave a rating and review on wherever you get your podcasts. We are on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, so either one of those would be great help. Also, leave a follow. That'd be amazing too. If you're listening or watching on YouTube, please leave some comments, like the video, subscribe. Another way you can help support us is we are Amazon affiliates, which means you'll see in the description wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast. On the episode, there will be a link to the book that we are currently covering, or if we spin the wheel to select our next book, you'll also see a link to the next book that we will be covering as well. And these links are to the books the exact same books that we are reading during the podcast. So, if you're going to read the book anyways, it'd be a great help if you could use the link. It's going to be no additional cost to you, and we do get a small uh, percentage of the proceeds. So you get a book, and we also get a benefit. It's a win-win, honestly. And even if you don't get, like, even if you don't use the link, I still recommend getting the book. One, because it helps to read what we're reading, so you can kind of have some more context into what we are discussing, as well as having your own book. We're not covering everything in the book on the podcast. That's impossible to do in an hour and a half, and so it allows you to get some really nice information in there that again we just can't cover. And it also allows you to annotate your own book. So, if years down the line, you can kind of come back to the book, kind of remind yourself on the lessons you learned. And, if you reread it again, you can have almost like a conversation with yourself back in time too. It's really an investment to, I think, read and buy books. So again, thank you for listening to Book Club, and can't wait to catch you in the next one.